Ooh, good brother, good brother, good brother.
The goodest of brothers.
You are the good son.
And you are the good father.
Dude, that'd be a good tag team. The good son and the godfather.
We got Macaulay Culkin and Marlon Brando. Wasn't that right?
Yeah, but I was
right?
more thinking
Good
WWE's Godfather. But yeah.
Well, no, we just gotta stick to what we got. If we're going with Macaulay Culkin, we gotta go with Marlon Brando.
All right. That's fair enough. Can they make a rap album? That's the question.
They can, but Macaulay Culkin's weakness would be bees. Am I right?
Yes.
They got the bees. Don't get the killer bees in there. Brian B. Blair and Jumping Jim Brunzell. The killer bees. They'd take out the good son and the godfather.
I'm just going to take you for your word that that's an actual tag team and not something you just made up on the spot.
You don't remember the killer bees?
I don't think anybody does, probably. We're on the Murder Hornets now.
Jumping Jim Brunzell and Brian B. Blair. Oh, they were huge back in the 80s.
Wouldn't he be bumping Bim Bruns, whatever? They got to be bees, right? Because Brian B. Blair got it right.
Brunzell is a bee.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then he'd smoke a couple J's ahead of time. That's the Jumpin' Jim. 2 J's and a B.
Hey, BJ's pretty good.
He might get a BJ. We don't know. Where was Sonny at this time? I don't know.
Well, maybe, just maybe, we'll find out, Fat Mack, in this week in Pro Wrestling History.
Well, Paystee, last week we actually talked about Ron Simmons becoming the first African-American to hold a major world title in wrestling, which was the WCW World Heavyweight Championship. Well, today we talk about another major move for black wrestlers. 15 years ago today, Paystee, at the NWA TNA Weekly Pay-Per-View from Nashville, Tennessee, Ron the Truth Killings, known in WWE as R-Truth now, I guess, can we call him the greatest 24/7 champion?
Yeah, no, that's easy. Yeah, definitely, hands down.
Oh, okay, we will. Well, at that time, before he was a joke, he defeated Ken Shamrock, yes, a legit shoot fighter, to win the NWA World Heavyweight Championship. With the win, Killings became the first, and to this day, Paystee, only officially recognized African-American NWA World Champion ever. And the show's
crazy and hard to believe.
That's very hard to believe, to be honest. And you would hope after this pandemic ends, Billy Corgan would probably end that streak. But we will see what happens. In the show's featured bout, of course, Low Key defeated AJ Styles and Jerry Lynn in a 3-way bout to win the TNA X Division Championship. And the rest of the card went as follows, Paystee. We've seen the Flying Elvises. Yes, the Flying Elvises. That was Jimmy Yang, Jorge Estrada, and Sonny Sakai.
I love Jimmy Yang.
Defeating Amazing Red, Joel Maximo, and Jose Maximo. We also seen Malice, who, if people watched WCW back at the end of the WCW days, was known as The Wall. And he had the Sinister Minister James Mitchell with him. He defeated Don Harris in a First Blood match. Of course, Don Harris is a legit Aryan Nation supporter, and we despise that fucker. Jeff Jarrett defeated Gran Apollo in an NWA World Heavyweight Title #1 Contenders match. Bruce, who you may remember as WCW's Kwee-Wee, but you probably don't. But you probably don't.
I know that name, though.
Oh, he was a homosexual hairdresser manager is what he was.
Yeah.
He defeated Taylor Vaughn in a Miss TNA evening gown match, which is just sad. And as we said, Low Key defeated AJ Styles and Jerry Lynn to win the NWA TNA X Division Championship. So last week we celebrated the anniversary of Ron Simmons becoming the first African American World Heavyweight Champion. And this week, Ron Killings, who I don't think most people would ever assume would be the first and or only NWA African American champion. He's kind of he's changed a lot from NWA /TNA to WWE. Am I right, Paystee?
Yeah. But it's safe to say he's held a lot more gold in WWE.
That is true, but probably not as prestigious gold.
Fool's gold.
Fool's gold. Fool's gold.
It's not the truth.
We can say, though, that he's obviously making way more money now, just being 24/7 champion than he was then. But I think people need to step back and recognize the actual talent of Ron Killings, R-Truth, the
He has such a long, storied career, it boggles my mind. Because I didn't know hardly anything about him until his WWE run, which has been a long time in itself.
Well, but even before that, in I want to say early 2000s, maybe 1999, he actually teamed with Road Dogg as K-Quick, and they had a tag team together.
Oh,
so he was he was actually in WWF before it was WWE. So
That's
he's
so crazy
actually,
to think
and
about.
I think he held tag team gold with Road Dogg. So he's actually a champion from way back, and people just kind of, I think, get lost in the current character and don't remember his legacy. I hope people would sit back and remember the legacy of Ron Killings. He's doing the right thing now. He is an older gentleman. He's got to be in his 50s, and he's probably doing the right thing for his career right now.
He's got the best comedic timing in all of WWE, hands down, I believe.
Oh, 100. So I don't dog him for what he's doing. I just wish that more people would actually recognize the impact he made before becoming
like Vince.
What he was. Yeah.
That's some good stuff.
Very good.
Which is exactly the opposite of what we have submitted ourselves to this week, as you and I have both sat down for ourselves and watched the worst pay-per-view in history.
Not only was this probably the worst pay-per-view in history, this set out to be the worst pay-per-view in history. They weren't trying to make a Wrestle Kingdom 14. They were trying to make Talkin' Shop a Mania, Paystee.
Exactly. And what ensued was definitely the worst pay-per-view I've ever seen. But at the same time, the biggest golden nugget of pure art in the world of professional wrestling I've seen in an incredibly long time, maybe ever. Because this was pure parody. This was Weird Al meets professional wrestling and fuck shit up.
Oh my god, this is the UHF of pro wrestling.
It is.
Wow, I didn't even think of that, but that's awesome, Paystee. Thank you. This is the UHF of wow. Yeah, it's definitely it goes out of its way to be so bad. But at the same time, it's so fucking entertaining.
It is.
Super, like, the whole time. There were a couple times it got there was a lull here and there. But even when there was a lull, it was like, okay, it's a lull in a shitty match. Like, I can go and make a sandwich real quick and come back, and I'm not even worried about missing out on anything. So it's good.
It was a definitely an interesting hour-and-a-half long pay-per-view. That's right, folks. I said hour-and-a-half pay-per-view in the same sentence.
Yes.
That's crazy to think. What's more crazy to think is this only cost $14.99 to buy it on Fight. And once you buy it, it belongs to you forever.
You own it forever and ever and ever.
It's, God. Let's break it down for the people and make them need to see it.
Okay, so first of all, it opens up at the very beginning. We got Doc Gallows, Machine Gun Carl Anderson, and Rocky Romero.
Rocky motherfucking Romero. Surprises right from the jump.
So happy to see him there.
Oh, it was good.
And they actually, I think the best thing they could have done was do this intro, because they explained that this show was not something to take seriously and was about having fun.
Yeah, it's not for the easily offended. It is meant to piss you off. It is meant to be the worst pay-per-view in history.
They're at Gallows property, and they kind of spent this intro just talking about how much the show was gonna suck.
You probably want to be drunk to watch it.
And yeah, they said you want to be drunk if you don't drink, you want to smoke if you don't smoke, you want to meditate. Just get in a special mindset for what you are going to watch. And that's good advice, and I think it's great that they opened the show this way so that you didn't expect another all-in. This wasn't non-WWE guys coming together to put on one of the best wrestling shows ever. This was non-WWE guys getting together to have fun, fuck around with their friends, and make a little bit of money. That's all it was.
And get drunk at the same time.
And why the fuck not?
And for being a worst pay-per-view in history, this definitely was a star-studded show. There was a lot of surprises and secrets throughout. The first surprise revealed was Teddy Long.
Play.
Holy shit, it's Teddy Long. Yeah, I'm here, motherfucker. I want my money. Now give me 6 feet. I love that.
And that's all he said. That was it. That was his introduction. They didn't explain it or nothing. He just said, I'm here, I want my money, give me 6 feet. That was it. God, I love that. That's perfect.
Yes. Oh, boy. So we started the actual event off with the social distancing battle royal,
which was one of the highlights of the show, Paystee. This was
damn right.
WCW used to start off with Rey Mysterio versus Eddie Guerrero. They started off with social distancing battle royal. You had Freight Train. You had
breakout star of the night, mind you.
You had whose is it? Bearded Mom.
I'm
just lost now.
I'm not sure who the wrestler is because I'm not well versed in very many non-WWE or non-signed talent, I suppose. But no, Freight Train was my favorite. He played a big, slow, dumb dominator, much like Big Show, Mark Henry, Braun Strowman. And he had some awesome one-liners as he kind of like assists the people out of the ring over the top rope, because he definitely wasn't throwing people out. One of my favorite being, it's choo-choo time.
It's choo-choo time. Alex Kozlov, who is the
there you go.
The partner of Rocky Romero in what was their tag team called back in New Japan?
It's not Roppongi Vice, so it doesn't mean
it is
much.
not Roppongi Vice. Not near as good as Roppongi Vice. Anyways, he was Rocky Romero's tag team in ROH in New Japan. So Alex Kozlov's bearded mother came in, which was just so much fun. I just loved it. She starts whacking the shit out of people with her purse, throwing people over. Freight Train is throwing people. All they're doing is running and jumping over. Freight Train's not doing anything. He slightly touches them on their shoulder as they jump over. Like, this isn't him throwing people out at all. That's not what this is. It's super fun. Chico El Luchador ends up winning it at the behest
you're
of
missing
Chavo
a bunch
Guerrero
of people.
Jr.
What about Stang showing up? That was awesome.
Oh, there was a ton of people that were in
Mike
here.
Bennett showed up, got in the ring, and eliminated himself immediately.